Hello there! I'm back for another tutorial. This one is Billy Butcherson from Hocus Pocus. I show you how to do the hair, the makeup, and a makeshift kind of costume. So if you would like to see it or if you're interested in that, just keep on watching and everything will be explained. To do this makeup today, you are going to need a couple of different things. You're going to need some black cream makeup, some white cream makeup, green of course, and a little bit of brown. You're also going to need some sponges, just like those, the triangle kind of sponge, and some Q-tip. You'll need liquid latex, black hairspray or a black wig. I'm going to use my own hair and just spray it with the black hairspray to make your hair look all crazy. You'll need some little black strings for the stitches across the lips, and you will need an assortment of brushes, just different sizes and shapes for contouring and shading and everything. You will need Elmer's glue and a palette knife to cover your eyebrows, and some spirit gum. I also recommend having a plate on hand to mix up your colors with. The first thing I'm going to do is block out my eyebrows, which I showed you how to do in my last video, the Poison Ivy video, so I'm not going to film that. If you want to look at it, you can watch that video and I kind of explain in detail how to cover your eyebrows. So I'm just going to do that and then we'll get right back to it. Okay, I forgot to mention another thing that you're going to need some toilet paper. And if you're fancy and have 2-ply toilet paper, you want to tear it in half so you have thinner pieces. And then you want to rip it up into strips like this. We're going to need this for our eyebrows. This glue is nearly drying. I ended up doing 2 coats of it, so it's pretty thick on there, but I just didn't want any of my eyebrows to show through. Our next step is going to be to put latex across our brows. Billy doesn't have any eyebrows, so we want to completely cover them up, and I want them to look a little bit stronger. So I'm going to take the latex and just build a couple of layers just over from here to here, just basically covering my eyebrows. So you want to take some liquid latex, and I'm just going to pour some into the cap. And I'm going to take one of these sponges here. If you're going to be putting latex on a brush or a sponge or anything, you want to be sure that you can just throw it away, because you're not going to be able to save it. Once you put latex on it, it's going to be completely ruined. So taking a disposable sponge and just dipping it into the latex, and then you just want to stamp it right across your eyebrow. And you want it to be kind of thin layers to start with, and you want it to be smooth across your eyebrow. Okay, now we're going to let this thin layer dry, and I'm just going to keep going back over probably 3 or 4 times just to build up 3 or 4 layers of the liquid latex, and then we'll go to the next step, okay? Okay, so I've got 4 layers of latex on my eyebrows right now, and it's pretty much dry. The next thing I'm going to do is start taking these little bits of tissue and building them up along my eyebrow. I kind of want it to look like a sad eyebrow, so it's going to stop right about here and then kind of curve here. So you just want to start taking the tissue. If you want to take some, put like a thin layer of latex down first so the tissue will stick to it better, you can do that. So I've got latex on the sponge. Just a thin layer on top, and then you want to take and lay this down where you want it to go. You want to make sure that it doesn't get too wrinkled, because that will show up through your makeup, and then just tear off any extra parts that you don't necessarily need. So that's 1 layer on there. Now I'm just going to go back and keep adding more layers to it. And the trick is with latex, you can't go over it too many times, because it will start to attach to itself. It'll dry really fast, and then it just gets stringy and gross. So you kind of got to work with it pretty fast. And I'm going to take some latex on my finger and just smooth everything over, because your finger is going to be a lot smoother than constantly dabbing that on with the sponge. So now it looks like you've got a huge bandage on your head. I'm going to finish putting out the layers on this one. I'm probably going to do maybe 2 more layers just to get this inside part here a lot more built up and strong, and then I'm going to do the other eyebrow, and then we'll be back and start with our face. Okay, so we're back. Everything is pretty much dry. I'm going to go back and add some highlights in, so the areas that I want it to be lighter than the others. Specifically under the eye here, like on the cheekbones on both sides, down the nose, and then the eyebrows here, and a little bit along the forehead and the chin. Okay, so that's the basic bit of highlighting done. I'm going to take some more of the highlight that I just used and just bring some down at an angle, kind of going in towards my mouth, like this, and then just blending that out. It doesn't have to be neat, you can do it, I mean, just striking it down like that. Okay, so back to that dark, the dark brownish black color. Make some strikes in towards my mouth. So now I'm going to take this color again and make my nose how his is in the movie. It's almost like it's been like stretched down, so I'm going to make the nostrils a little bit bigger with this black. So now we have our nostrils elongated. I'm going to take that same black again and make the same strike marks down here on the bottom of my under my lip. To take a little bit more of this black and pull some very thin lines going up and onto the nose. For the next step, I'm going to use some eyeshadow just so we can get it a little bit more blended and it doesn't look like finger paint all over our face. So we're going to use some matte eyeshadows. You want to definitely use matte because Billy Butcherson's not sparkling. He's not a sparkly zombie. So I think I'm going to use the matte black that I have, the matte brown, and probably some gray, and maybe a little bit more of this kind of olive green that I have. And I'm just going to get some clean brushes that I haven't been using to do the cream makeup because that would not work out too well. So I'm going to start out with the black on a small brush like this. This is just a tiny little paddle brush. And I'm going to start doing some shading and detailing in the eyes and the eyebrows just to start making everything look a little bit more like it does in the movie. So I've got the eyes done for the most part. I'm going to go back and start working on these lines down here, getting them to look a little bit more realistic, I guess, as realistic as a zombie is. So to achieve this, I'm taking some of this highlight color that I was using and going back into the middle of these strike marks and just kind of coloring in the middle of them so they look a little bit thinner on the edges. So if you can see how this one is here and that one that I just did. Then I'm also going to take the highlight color and go in between the black. So basically surrounding the black on the inside and the outside. So I'm going to go do that to both sides of my face and then we'll come back and we'll go from there, okay? So the next step would be to do the hair. A lot of teasing just to make my hair stand up and look as crazy and as messed up as possible. And then what I want to do is take some regular hairspray and spray it. And now comes the fun part of taking your black spray paint and spraying it all over your hair. This stuff is very strong, by the way, so be careful with it. Okay, what I'm going to do now is line the inside of my eye with black eyeliner. I forgot to do that when I was doing my makeup. And then I'm going to take a small brush and some black and go just under my eye like this. So now I just need to put on the costume. I'm going to use an old jacket. Well, it's not necessarily old, it's Jerry's, but I'm sure he won't mind too much. It's just a brown blazer. I'm just going to take a t-shirt of mine and kind of put it in like that, so it looks like that. Okay, so I'm actually going to take the bottom of an old t-shirt that I don't use anymore. I just use it to dye my hair, and I'm going to tie that around my neck because he kind of has like a little whatever you call those things, cravats, ties, I don't know, something like this. Just tie it around the bottom. And then I'm going to take some brown and some black and just kind of dirty it up a little bit. We've got the hair done, makeup done, costume done. If you were going out, you would probably want to paint your hands, but since I still need to operate my camera and do day-to-day stuff, I'm not going to paint my hands right now. If you like this video, you could share it with other people, or if you want to try out the makeup yourself, you should film it and I would love to watch it. So you can do either one of those and just link it to me or let me know. Alright, I hope you enjoyed it. Bye! Now comes the fun part of taking all of this off. All of those. Get it all over your fingers, if that makes any sense. You're kind of like paper macheing your face. So I'm going to do that, and then, yeah, we'll just do that. I'm all Greg. Ooh, that tickles. Sorry, Ollie, because it's quite disgusting. No. Bye-bye.